Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Hugo Blog Talk Radio. I am your host, Hugo. I hope everybody had a good week. Now, majority of people in this generation, a lot of people, be raised in a certain point of this type of movement where their family members would always tell them that we're all born equal, church is the way, we're all the same. And then when you get older, when it's embedded in you, when you reach into a mature age, you begin to walk and you begin to breathe in that same aspect. You begin to think that that's how the world works, by thinking that everybody is the same, people are people. But when they treat you a certain way or when they treat you different, it shocks and confuses the hell out of you. See? And you don't even know how to deal with that. And the reason why is because you was not trained and you was not raised to the point where when you deal with these things and when these things happen to you, you just don't know like what to say or just, what thing you need to do to go through it, man. See, the world does not work in that type of aspect. And that's the reason why a lot of people are having these issues. The world works in a way where you need to learn how to understand yourself and know how to understand how the world works in a way where when these things happen, man, you should know how to deal with it. That's how the world works, man. It does not work where you think that everybody is the same. People are people, man, because we all go through different things. We all go through things that a lot of people don't understand. That's why your elders have a lot of issues. That's why even the people that are into religion and they go to church on a regular, that they go through a lot of issues because they just don't know the truth. They don't know how to handle the difference of certain people when it comes to them, them not looking at the same way that they can understand. When he and she is going through these problems, man, you need to learn how to deal with it. You need to learn how to go through these things when someone is not seeing things your way. But when you are raised to the point where you think that everybody needs to understand that everybody is the same and this and that or whatever, and when someone treats you different, it bothers you. It bothers the mess out of you to the point where it messes up your whole day because you don't know how to deal with it because you wasn't trained to deal with it. You was just trained to be drowned into the fact of thinking that this whole world is involved with love. Today's topic is relationship tragedies, dealing with someone with anger issues. Now, this is something that I've been wanting to discuss about this for a while. And the reason why it took me this long for me to talk about this is because when it comes to me trying to discuss certain things and I have a very good take on how to discuss it, I like to sit on it so I can gather more and more information. So this might be a long this might be a long podcast, so I'm sorry. And please forgive me about it. And if you're not satisfied with it, then this may not be the show for you. So just keep it moving. But those who are willing to sit and listen and be educated, then sit and enjoy the ride because this is going to be an interesting one. Now, dealing with somebody with anger issues and dealing with somebody that's really outspoken and willing to tell you what you need to do right, regards to letting relationship work, it's two different things. Now, when someone, for example, is getting on your case, regardless of male or female, this is a gender-free radio session, so I'm not trying to point fingers because we both go through these aspects. Both worlds go through these aspects. But when someone is just literally telling you how to deal with certain things and just telling you and just getting on your case about it and just telling you all the time how to deal with certain things and they're just getting tired of it. You're getting tired of that person doing it to the point where y'all both just getting sick and tired of the whole thing happening over and over and over again. You may want to listen to that person. Like if a female is just telling you as a male, look, I'm getting sick and tired of you, always not being home, or, you always just, just doing this and doing that or whatever. Just, you're just sitting there just lying to her, just making excuses for yourself, man. You need to listen to her, man, because, it's going down to the point where it's starting to affect not just y'all standards, but just a relationship as well. There's nothing wrong with that, man. If somebody is letting you know that what you're doing is affecting your relationship and they're getting on your case about it, they're not saying that because they're not just getting tired of you, but they're saying that because they want the relationship to build, man, and they need you to change your tone and your actions to make it work out. But if you're a righteous person and you are changing everything, you are getting everything situated, and then he or she is still getting on your case, and it can be about nothing, man. She can just come home from a bad day at work, and then he or she just gets on your case for no reason. Now that's a problem. That person may well have anger issues. And then you want to talk to that person. You want to be like, if you're a guy and if a girl talks to you negative all the time, and you want to pull her to the side, man. You want to be like, look, what's going on, man? Because you being a guy and you doing everything that's making a relationship work. I mean, she's always lecturing you, saying that she don't like this, she don't like that. You being a righteous brother, you're gonna change these things. And then she's still mad, and you're like, damn, what am I doing wrong? So that's when you have to pull her to the side and you be like, man, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what do I need to do to make the relationship work? And sometimes when a person has anger issues, they like to nitpick, man. They may try to make something up. They may be like, oh, well, I'm just mad because you don't pay me no attention. You don't give me the attention that I need. And you always with the girl, right? You always with the girl. Same thing with the guy. If you're a girl and you're a righteous sister, man, and the guy's always mad, huffing and puffing, and you always try to talk to him, and he be like, it's none of your business. Then that's when you pull him to the side, be like, look, sweetheart, I know something's been bothering you, something's been troubling you, but I'm here for you, right? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why is you taking all this out on me? And he might be like, look, I'm just mad because, every time I come home or whatever, you're always busy doing this, you're always busy doing that, but you ain't spending no time with me. See, they just finding little things or whatever. You can be always with that person. And then when you do, and then by you being righteous, you're going to fall for that. You're going to be like, okay, all right, then we can do that. And then when you still be with that person 24/7, then they still be mad for no reason. Right? Because, like I said, when a person has anger issues, man, and you trying to make it work, man, it's a good chance that person is not all there in their head, man. They probably get mad on a regular. That's just part of their character. So what you want to do to try to handle this, man? Now, the first thing people want to say is, you want to try to talk to their friends about the situation, see how their friends take it. Look, that ain't going to do no good. 9 out of 10 times, it's not going to do no good. Because that's just their friends, man. If you talk to if you're a girl and you try to talk to the man's friends or whatever, your man's friend, and then they just tell you, oh, look, girl, that's just how he is. You know how he is or whatever. He's always mad. He's always angry or whatever. We cool with him, but, just try to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? See, they don't even know because they don't know him personally. They just know him by him going out and him being cool with them on a regular. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know him in a full extent to the point where they know how to deal with that. So whenever he gets mad at them or whatever, they don't put him in his place and they don't tell him to chill because they don't know how to, they don't know how to react to it. So the best thing on how to deal with that is you will want to go to the source. And what I mean by that is you would want to see how this person's being raised. You should try to go to the family. Now, people are going to say, well, I don't think that's a good idea. Don't want to put relationships involved with family. Look, you don't need to talk to their family about your relationship. What I'm saying is just throw yourself out there. If you've been with them for a while, just try to see if you can meet their family. So if you're a guy and if your girl, is just known by being angry all the time and you just trying to get things right, and you just want to know what is it about her that's always angry. You try to figure out how to, deal with it in a way that y'all can both understand. Then that's when you tell her, look, baby, we've been together for like 4 or 5 months. We've been doing things good. How about, you never talk about your family. How about I meet your family? And then she could be like, why you want to meet my family for? Well, like I said, we try and get things started for ourselves and stuff, and we trying our best. You always working. I'm always doing the best I can, to make this thing happen. So how about it? How about I just meet your family, see what they're about, and because I want to see if they'll accept me or whatever. And, she should abide, man. She should agree, and she should bring you. Same thing with the ladies. Talk to your man. Just be like, hey, you know, um, we've been together for this long, and I just wanted to see if, you always be talking about your mom saying that she's good at cooking. How about if I come over there and I get to make something? Well, this is sudden. Why you want to come over see my family? Well, baby, you gotta understand. We've been together for this long, and I showed you my family, so I just wanna, I can cook something like I said. So how about if how about you tell them, this weekend? How about next weekend? Is that cool? So that's what I'm saying. Try to see how this person is, see what this person is going through in the family sidelines, man, and try to go over there to, when you go over there for the first time, man, be nice, just throw yourself out there, man. Show common courtesy and then if they're a righteous family, man, they'll accept you. And then that's when the parts where when they accept you, then that's when they're not gonna mind bringing you over a lot. You know what? I like that person. I like that person you with. That's what the family will say to to the to their kid that brought their girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. Hey Josh. Yeah, yeah, what's up, Dad? Hey, I like your girlfriend, Kaisha. How about she should come over more often? You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know, Dad. I just brung her over because she was just hussing and puffing about it. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, man. You should bring her over, man. Bring over some more, man. We should, we can talk as a family and stuff. You know? So when you do that, it's good that that they accept it. But at the same time, you need to, like I said, man, you need to be careful of not going over there too much because you don't want to be a pest, man. You don't want to overstay your welcome. You know what I'm saying? So now the family accepts you to come over. Now you need to pay close attention of how they're going to deal when it comes to them being under pressure. So just pay close attention whenever he or she begins to get an attitude or begins to talk to their family in a certain way. Just watch how they deal. Just watch how they deal with them. And then however they deal with it is how you're going to have to deal with it when he or she takes it out on you when you are dating that person. Now, I'm not saying talk to them in the same way as their parents are because you're not their parents, man. You're not their mom and dad. But say it in a respectful way that y'all are in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So if he or she is having these type of issues where they just can't control their anger and they just start talking to the family in a certain way and they just put them in their place or whatever and they just calm down, you need to do the exact same thing. But like I said, you got to do it in a relationship respectful way. Like if they try to talk to you that way, they just be like, look, you need to chill and relax. I'm just trying to talk to you or whatever. I'm just trying to help you out. So lower your tone and be easy and tell me what's bothering you. That's all you got to do. And then they'll listen. They'll be like, okay, all right, look, my bad, you right. So what was bothering me is that, and then they'll just talk to some sense to you. But if the family doesn't do that, like if the family just let the person just have their way and then you just with them, you with the family and you see your boyfriend or your girlfriend just being mean for no reason, just being angry for no reason. And then the family just sits back and they just let they just let them have their way, and that person's wrong, man, and they just disrespecting the family and stuff, and they just be like, oh my God, what am I gonna do with him or her or whatever? Dude, that's not good, man. If they're not disciplining their children and you're in a relationship with that person, man, there's a good chance that y'all are not gonna have a good relationship and y'all gonna be clashing and bumping heads every single time. Now, granted, y'all gonna have everybody's gonna have arguments, but what I'm saying is arguments is what help y'all grow and help y'all develop up to the point where when something like this happens and when you get scolded, you need to learn from what the person is saying to you in order for things to not happen that same way again. Now, if you are one of those people that wasn't disciplined as a child and you let your parents have your way with your parents and they don't tell you or they don't teach you, the counterbalance of just trying to be independent or just trying to know how the world works, and it doesn't always evolve around you, man, and they don't scold you, dude, you're basically spoiled at that point. You always have things your way, and you get angry all the time when things don't, when things doesn't go the way you want it to. And the only way if you be satisfied is if you get what's yours. So that's why I'm saying you need to see how the parents is raising these kids, how they raising the people that you're dating, so you can have a further adjustment of how to deal with it. Now, here's the thing: it may not always be like that. That may not always be the case, because sometimes when these parents are letting these kids have their way, it may not just be a spoiled, concept. These kids may be mentally disabled in their mind. They may not be all the way there in their head. And here's the thing: they may have a problem of intoxication. And what I mean by that is they may have a severe smoking and drinking problem. Now that can really take a big toll, in dating, man. I'm just being real. There's been so many cases of, just so many issues when a person that just have a good heart, man, tries to date a person that has anger issues, and it never ends well because they just have they just have a problem with just smoking and drinking. And then here's the crazy part, right? Normally when they have these problems, man, and they can't control it, they always be aggressive. They have a case scenario when they just put their hands on you. They just put their finger in your face, man. They just talk to you in all sorts of, bad ways and stuff, man. And you just don't understand. You like, man, why is this person doing this? Why is this person always so mad or whatever? And majority of the times it's not even your fault. And they even doing it to their family. It's like I said, they've been spoiled to that point where they just can't deal with it. Now, if you're the family, man, and you know that this person has a smoking and drinking problem, and if it is affecting them in a very harsh way to the point where you can't control it, you're the person to blame, man. Now they are grown up, and they should know when enough is enough, man. But you being a parent, you need to say something, man. Because by you not saying anything means that you don't care, man. And you know that person, by him or her is dating somebody that has a righteous spirit, man. You know it's not gonna end well, and you know deep down it's not gonna end well, because the problem doesn't go to the person that they're with. It's with your children. That's why relationships these days end so quick. And if you notice, that's the reason why, like, a lot of young people these days are beginning to fall like dominoes. They beginning to die so fast. They barely even make it in the age of 30 because they just filling their bodies up with just so much toxins and stuff, and they rely on that because they don't allow their parents to take care of them. They rely on what? Just getting all doped up and just filling their body up with just so much toxins, man. They normally not disciplined, and then when you try to talk sense to them, they don't want to listen to you. They too far gone, dude. Have y'all noticed that celebrities is going through that? Why you think so many rappers and so many pop idols and so many famous people are dying at such a young age now? And then majority of times, if it's not suicide, then it's then it's drugs, dude. And it's happening all across the globe, because it's like I said, you don't got the right people that's raising them to teach them how to deal with life without putting that stuff in their system, dude. They're not being raised properly. So when you try to date somebody like that and you try to get the whole thing to work out, man, and you just don't get it, you just don't understand, dude, why this person is always angry all the time, why they always lashing out. Like I said, it could be how they raise or what they put in their system. Now, I don't want people to tell me, well, he's saying that smoking is bad or whatever. Look, man, there's nothing wrong by smoking and drinking, man. I'm not saying that it's a problem, like, in all angles. You can do that in occasions, man. But then when you do that every single day, man, every single minute, every time you go through something, you smoking. Every time you look at something you don't like, you smoking. Every 5 minutes, you smoking. Like, every time
you at that point where you know, like your cologne or your perfume is not stronger than the nicotine, man, when you going out on a date, man, and then you know what I'm saying? That's a problem, dude. Especially if you begin to smoke to the point where you starting to sound like, you need to get that shit taken care of, like real talk. Like I know people that, you know, that just smokes like that, and then the point where they voice just gets, you know, so raspy and just so harshly, and then it's really bad on the females too, man. And then you know, you talk to them and they talk like that, man, and like I said, they got anger problems too because of the, you know, of what they put in their system, man. That's not good, dude. And again, as like I said, it's not a problem when you smoke and drink, man. When you do anything like that, man, putting things in your system, man, is not a bad thing, but just learn how to control it, man. But when you can't control it to the point where you need it every single day, it's gonna affect you. And it's not just affecting you, it's affecting the people around you. So now you're not having a problem. It's not just you having a problem, but the people around you is beginning to having a problem of you doing it. And see, and the crazy part is, I've been with people that had these type of issues. I've been with people that had like smoking and drinking problems, man. But here's the thing, man. The like the one girl that I was with, man. She was smoking, man. You know, she was a heavy smoker, but it didn't affect her to the point where she would, you know, not be fully adjusted to her own actions, man. I mean, she would scold me, but then there'll be times where, you know, where we will have arguments and it'll be her fault. Like there'll be a time where she'll be like, well, you know what, you need to get this right, you need to do this, you need to do that, or whatever. And then I would tell her, look, you right, but what about you? You've been doing this and you've been doing that too. And then she'd be like, you know what, you're right. You're right. I do need to get that together. So you're right. I'll get that taken care of. So you see what I'm saying? See, smoking. See, if you smoke like that and it's not affecting you, then that's good, man. But like I said, I've been like a woman like that I've been with, man. She was a righteous sister, man. She smoked, but not to the point where it was affecting us. Now I've been with women, man, that smoked to the point where it was just they would just think that they won't even think for themselves, man. They won't be fully aware of how that, you know, they treating other people, man, because like I said, they've been spoiled. They always have their way, and they get angry on the regular when things get bad, man. That's not good, dude. And then when you try to snap on them, or when you try to give them the same taste of what they give you, they just can't stand it. They just can't even deal with it, man. Even I used to be a heavy smoker, man. I used to smoke a lot. I used to smoke and drink a lot because I used to go through a lot of stuff, man. But then my parents was beginning to realize like what it was doing to me. They just they had to say something. The main person that was getting on my case about it was my father. He came up to me and he was like, dude, you need to chill, man. Like this, you know, like he was just seeing me just smoke all the time, man. Just smoke my day away, man. It was just crazy. And he was like, dude, like, what is your problem, man? You need to stop this, man. This is doing no good to you. And he was right, man. It was doing nothing but just weakening me, man. And you know, people think that smoking would get them through the day, but if that was the case, then you would just stop automatically. If smoking was to cure your, you know, your frustration, why you smoke all the time? If something is bothering you, then just get it out of your chest. But it's like I said, with that type of stuff, man, they think it's supposed to make them stronger, it's supposed to make them bolder. No, it doesn't, man. It weakens your immune system, and that's what it was doing to me. When I was going through stuff, and I was just going through like just the negative facts of life, and I was just smoking, drinking, smoking, drinking, smoking, drink. I realized it was just making me weaker, and I didn't like what it was doing to me. So when I quit, I felt good about it, man. I felt more motivated, I felt more independent, and I felt like I try to limit myself from any type of medication as possible, man. I like to allow my own mind and my own well-being, dude. And that's how you should be. And it was easy for me to quit because I was only doing it for 2 years. But when someone is known by doing it most of their life, man, ever since their childhood years, man, it's almost impossible for that person to stop, dude. Especially if their parents is not going to do nothing about it, man. and they just watching that happen, and you know that there's nothing good coming from this person, you know, from what that person is doing. You know that there's nothing but just negative remorse coming from that type of behavior. And most of the times it comes from death too. But you just sit there and you just let that person have their way. That's just stupid to me. Just say something to that person. But they're afraid that they go take it out on them. Look, if that's your kid, man, you should say something. Same thing if you're in a relationship with that person. You're going to be with that person, right? You know this person have anger issues. You know this person smokes and drinks on a regular. Say something to that person. Let that person know that it's bothering you because they taking it out on you every time they go through a phase. When you go through a phase and you don't even do that stuff, what do? You handle it in the most positive way possible, man. You handle it in the most sophisticated way. You don't take it out on nobody. You take it out only on a person that is giving you that hard time. But when a person has anger issues and they smoke and drink on a regular and they just can't deal, and and they mentally disabled, man, they're going to mostly take it out on a person that they know that'll be able to take their hits. For example, they on their way home from work and then you calling them and you just be like, hey, look, how's it going? And, they just huffing and puffing. They're like, my boss done pissed me off or whatever. I'm about to set a fit or whatever. I'm just, I just can't wait to get home, whatever. And you know what's going to happen. You know this person's coming home to get on your case. You know they're going to take it all out on you, right? Now, your question is, from this person, by being mad all the time, being angry all the time, why they just can't take it out on the manager? Why they just can't take it out on the people at the job that's giving them a hard time? It has something to do with being fired. You can easily, look, man, when a manager gets on your case, when a manager gets on your bad side, man, just get that person out of your back. I'm not saying curse them out or just, talk to them in a whole, a disrespectful way. Say it in a way that they'll back up off you, man. Speak to them in the same type of intelligence. You can insult somebody in an intelligent way, believe it or not, man. Because I did that. I do that a lot, man. There's been times where my manager or somebody above me will try to talk to me in a certain way, and then right when I get on their case back, they'll just leave me alone, which is cool. I would rather you not talk to me at all if you don't have anything positive to say, or when they realize I'm nobody to be messed with, they end up being the most nicest people ever. So the question is, if you dating with somebody like that, and when they go to work or when they go out in public, and they just deal with stuff like that, and they just let that stuff get to them, and you be like, man, this person gets on my case all the time. Why they don't do that to the people in public? I'm gonna tell you why. Because people that lash out on them also have anger issues. And by them not having anger issues, they're afraid they go lash on them back. So if they even think about getting on their case, if they snap on them, they can't deal with the fact that they're gonna get backlash too. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna attack somebody that they can get away with that type of shit. They're gonna attack the weaker person. They're gonna bully the person that they know that they can, that won't get on their case back, and that's gonna be you, the person you with, the loved one, the person you dated. Ain't that something? Ain't that crazy? And then you gonna fall for it. You gonna be like, he or she is coming home with this attitude, man. I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to make this person feel better, dude. If you're gonna keep spoiling this person to the point where even if y'all argue and if it's that person's fault and that person doesn't apologize or whatever because they think that apologizing is a sign of weakness. No, it's a sign of strength, man. Apologizing brings out your character. It just shows you how righteous you are, man. It makes you adapt and it makes you grow up as a human being, dude. But when you balled up inside and you don't want to apologize, man, it just shows how much of a weak spirit you have, dude. Man up, man. But when you can't do that, man, that just shows you how spoiled these people is, and the relationship is just gonna clash, man. It's gonna fall apart, dude. So what you need to do is you need to try to talk sense to these people that have these issues, man. Now, when a person is known by being aggressive and just putting their hands on you, and it's just one rough night, man, and then they just smoke and they just drink, especially on the weekend, on a Friday night, man, they come home, they just intoxicated, and they just take it all out on you, and then the next day, they come up to you, they all sobered up, they feeling good, man, and they just be like, look, man, about yesterday, I apologize, I'm sorry about that. I mean, that happens a lot. When a person like that gets drunk and they just act out of anger, and then the next day they just say, I'm sorry to you. See, that person, you should listen to that person, because that person still has some light in them. They still aware of what they're doing. So if that person is able to apologize to you, then you need to talk to them straight up. Be like, look, you need to stop this, man. You should easily tell that what you're doing is doing nothing but just making this whole thing a disaster. You need to stop this. You need to chill, man. And then that's when you test them. That's when you see if they're gonna, if they're willing to listen to your advice and just try to quit, man. Now, if they quit, or at least try to, that just shows you that they are willing to bear it all and just quit their habits and their smoking and drinking habits to make the relationship work for you, man. And they won't be able to do it by themselves, so you need to help guide them. By them saying that they're gonna do it, they're gonna need all the help they can get. So by you being a righteous person, you need to try to guide them, man. Seriously. But if a person is not apologizing to you and they aggressive on a regular, you need to probably let them go. Or, because this is what's going to happen. If you let them go and this person is known by having anger issues, and you just leave, they're going to most likely, going to say that you're weak. They're going to say that you just can handle being in a real relationship. They're not even going to think that it was their fault, because like I said, mom and daddy has spoiled them. They haven't been well disciplined. They're not all right in their head, man. It's the intoxication and the nicotine and the liquor that's in their system so much to the point where they can't even think for themselves anymore. They can't even think what they're not self-aware of their own actions, man. So when you leave out their life, they're not gonna be fully educated to know it was their fault to begin with. So what you need to do is you need to wait for the right opportunity to strike back at them. And what I mean by that is, when a person like that lash on you and gets on your case, if it's your fault or whatever, just sit there and take it. Just sit there and just let them say whatever they want, because they will get what's theirs. If you have a good spirit, man, you should know, you should be well patient enough to just wait for the opportunity, man. And then when you have enough information to throw back at them, that's when you have to fight them in their own terms. That's when you have to fight fire with fire. See how much they're willing to take it, man. So, for example, if they're going to, one day, y'all argue, and it was about something stupid, just something crazy, because that's just, that's very common with someone when they get issues. They're going to argue over something completely out of the ordinary. That doesn't even make any sense. And they just talking about you, just saying stuff about you. You don't do this right. You don't do that right. You don't do this, yada, yada, yada. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to talk to them about their smoking habit. And, you just trying to talk sense to this person. And the first thing that person is going to do is they're going to feel insulted by you saying that, that, because you are aware of what this person is doing. But by them being aware that that all they're doing is smoking and drinking their life away, they're gonna feel weak about it. They're going to feel like you're attacking them emotionally. So what they're going to do, they're going to say that you're emotional. They're going to turn around and say, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Like you can't even take it when I get on your case. You can't even take it, when I get on your when I yell at you or whatever. And you can take it, man. The reason why you're letting that stuff get past you, because it doesn't bother you. But they don't know that, because they think they think by you not saying anything, you're soft. But they don't realize by you not saying nothing, you're just holding back, because you know how weak they are. You know that if you argue with them back, they're not even gonna, they're not gonna handle it well. But if you're a weak person, man, and you don't even like thinking about these type of things, man, you don't like taking notes, that's gonna get to you. When somebody gonna say, man, you weak or whatever, you frail or whatever, that's gonna get to you. And you gonna let that person win. You gonna be like, man, I can't believe she said this to me, man. She said that I was weak. She said that I was frail. Dude, be a man. You got your life together. You trying to get things right, man. And this person is very sensitive when it comes to just trying to deal with these type of things. But they gonna lash out on you by saying you weak, and you not even taking no type of drug. You're not doing none of that type of stupid shit. Same thing with y'all women. When a guy say that to you, you know you're an independent sister. You know you are trying your best to get these things in order. You know you are doing a lot to get these situated. And yet, when these guys, I mean, when a guy is doing nothing but just giving you a hard time and just lashing out on you, and you trying your best to make the relationship work, you shouldn't let that type of negativity get to you, because they're not fully there, man. So what you should do is, like I said, fight fire with fire. Fight them in their own game. And then when you talk sense to them, and then when you hit them with the bop gun, you be like, look, you need to lower your voice. Who the hell you think you talking to? That's what you're supposed to say to this person. Look, lower your tone, lower your voice. Watch who the hell you think you talking to. I don't know who you think you is. I'm not your friends and I'm not your family. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. I'm your man. Same thing with you girls. Say the same thing to the guy that's saying that to you. I'm your lady. Like, you need to respect me as a female. Don't you talk to me like that. I don't know who you think you is. And watch them piss on themselves, man. And then don't be surprised if they leave you too, man. Because that's the same reason why they don't fight back with the managers or fight back with people that have anger issues, because they just can't handle the backlash. Ain't that something? They have the nerve to call you sensitive. They have the nerve to say this and that about you, just knick-knack or whatever. But they can't even handle 5 seconds of what what you're throwing at them, of what they be throwing at you. They can't even handle that. So when they leave you because they can't control you, they can't, you know what I'm saying? They can't take advantage of you. They can't always get on your bad side. You know what I'm saying? Now, you're going to be surprised that happened, of course. But what you going to do? You're going to go on with your life. You're just going to just move on. But what that person going to do? Still smoke, still drinking. That person gonna hang up on you, say it's over, this and that or whatever. You just gonna be like, okay, whatever. Now, you might feel bad about it, but deep down you're gonna feel relief, because at least you don't gotta deal with that shit no more. But meanwhile with the person with anger issues, as soon as they hang up with you, they probably smoking like a whole pack of Newports. They smoking a whole, you know what I'm saying? They smoking and drinking and just smoking and drinking, dude. Like from the get-go, man. Just trying to drink, just trying to forget what happened. See, those are the sensitive people. Those are the emotional people. They can't handle 5 seconds of what goes on in real life without putting something in their system. That's a weak person, dude. And why do you think they can't handle therapy? Why do you think they don't want to deal with therapy? Because they can't handle the self-backlash. That's why they don't want to go to doctors, because they just can't handle the self-backlash, man. They don't want people to tell them how to do things the right way, because they just so weak in their head. They just can't handle self-criticism. But they don't mind talking to you that way. They don't mind they don't mind judging everybody else. They don't mind telling everybody how they live their life. But when it's their turn to get hit by that same type of treatment, they just fall apart. They don't have anything to deal with it. They don't want to talk to the type of people. That's even with family. Now, it's like I said, but mama and daddy spoil these type of kids, and when they reach to a certain premature age, there are certain people that they cut off. And those people that they normally cut off are normally the people that tries to reach them, that tries to tell them the realization of how this world really works. But they so stuck up to the point where they so spoiled, man. They so used to just being angry all the time and just having a way. When someone tries to talk to them in a way of just trying to reason with them, they just don't know how to deal with it. So like I'm saying, you need to let that person go and let that person do their thing, man. You better off with that person. And just let the Lord deal with them. And majority of times when the Lord deals with them, it's most likely too late. The smoking has already caught up to them, and they already got cancer, and they probably at the point of, near death. So when they try to come back to you, you know what? That person was right all along. I'm going to have to try to talk to this person, but it's already too late. Shit, not find it. That person's already moved on. But here's another thing too. You need to also try to leave before you put everything to the table. Try to study this person first. Know how this person is when it comes to them being under pressure. Because I notice people will listen, but they won't take my advice. Because notice when people have these anger issues, they got children, and they're married, or they living with somebody that just can't stand it, and they just can't deal with it. But at the same time, they want to leave, but they can't because they already done put too much in this relationship. They already got the house, they already got the children, they already married, so they can't leave because they haven't built their own independence to be on their own when shit hits the fan. You can't bear it all with somebody like that. That's not, that's not fully there, man. Like I said, when you meet somebody, stop thinking with your heart, dude. When you meet somebody for the first time, the first thing that they're gonna do is they're gonna try to act all nice to you. When you meet somebody, what they're gonna first do is shake your hand and ask you how you're doing. But when you see them on a regular, you see them every single day, you're gonna begin to see their true colors. Let a person prove themselves, man, before you throw it all out. That's why this girl, I forgot her name is Kelly Renee or Renee or something like that. You know what? I may be saying her name wrong, so forgive me. But I peeped her on social media. And she always talks about her man. She always posts things about like the stuff that she's going through with her man and her kid. And it's just bad, man, because the guy's so abusive and stuff. So she posted a status on social media saying, there's so much crazy shit going on between me and my man right now. I'm just gonna focus on taking care of my daughter. She's unhappy, man. So that's why I'm saying, when you go through stuff like that, you just can't get out of it. And these people are aggressive, and you've already put your whole future into this person. You want to end it before that stuff happens, man. Try to build. I mean, you can build things in a relationship, but build things as a couple, man. Don't try to build things in a point where when you leave that person, you left with nothing, dude. That's why majority of times when people like this are dealing with these type of situations, they do what? They start to cheat. They cheat on these people. And these people are living good lives, man, but they just not being treated right by their men or their women because they're too aggressive. That's why majority of times we try to talk to these girls or talk to these guys, they most likely have a girl that's very abusive. How many times, fellas, when you date a girl, or not date them, but you just want to mess around with the girl, and they always tell you, I got a man, but he's a little crazy, he's a little aggressive, and then majority of times these guys be strapped. Same thing with the men. When a girl try to talk to the guy, and the guy is on a relationship, but he's willing to try to see how it works with you, he's most likely doing it because he's not happy where he's at. He's dating a female that's really, really giving him a hard time, and she's just treating him so bogus, man. It's very common. You should pay attention to how this stuff works. When a person is trying to be with you and they are in a relationship, man, they most likely not happy where they at because this person is very abusive and is very aggressive, man. That's just real talk. So that's what I'm saying. Try to build on your own first. So when these things happen, man, you should know how to deal with it. And then when a person leaves you, at least you'll be all right on your own. Anyway, we're getting close to closing this session up.
Dealing with people with anger issues is very common with people that can relate to being very self-righteous and just having a good spirit. So I have advice to you guys, man. Whenever, unfortunately, when you go through stuff like this, man, and then when people are just being that way towards you and they just, just bullying you or just treating you, just not treating you right, man, just treating you in a certain way, man, you just have to just stand strong. Just stand strong, man, and just don't let that type of negativity bother you, man, because it will get to you when they talk to you a certain way, man, and when they talk down on you, just they just attacking you for your spirit, man. You have to realize that by you being righteous, by you having a good heart, man, you have a big spirit. You have a very big spirit, and than the person is talking down on you, and they know that. They know they're weak. They know they can't go through just one day without being intoxicated, without them just being, just drawn in by by just drugs and just nicotine. So you have to just stand strong. You're independent and you have a good spirit, man. So just keep it moving. Don't let that type of stuff get to you, man. And don't even try to reason with those people because by them acting like that, they're unreasonable. So just let them go. Let them go and just keep it going, dude.
So let's go ahead and roll it. appreciate you guys tuning in. I told y'all this was going to be a pretty long session. I tried to cut it a little bit so I can, make it a little short or whatever. But I think this came out pretty well. I think it came out, as good as I expected.
We're just gonna let this beat ride for a bit.
But ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this blog talk, please tune in next time, because I've talked so much about people, having anger issues, and also it relates to them being spoiled. So try to tune in next time, because I will be talking about people that are also spoiled, and how that also can take a big place in any relationships as well. But anyway, that should be it. This is Hugo, your critic teacher, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day or evening, or wherever you guys are.